Hey everyone and welcome. I'm Dark Skye and today we are playing Main Sequence, a space simulator factory builder about expanding an interstellar industrial empire. If you enjoy story-driven survival runs like this, please consider leaving a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Today we're pushing beyond our initial foothold, unlocking more advanced production chains and reorganizing our infrastructure for efficiency. While fleet movement increasing and demand rising, the goal is to eliminate bottlenecks, expand output, and position this system for deeper expansion into neighboring sectors. So as you can see, I have increased our little factory here a little bit more. Now, one of the things I noticed is that our little robots, they stopped making, or they stopped finding the titanium in the area. So we're going to need to get some more titanium made. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another ship. And once I make the other ship, then we're going to move the production to that area. And then we'll have it come here. Now, I'm thinking either I can have it come as raw resource and have it drop it off here. Or what we could do is have it set up a thing where it's changes it over to the plates, and then once it's over in the plates, then we bring it over here and then we process it from that point. So that way it's already set up as these plates, and then it's just a matter of us putting up these assemblers, and then we have the different ones that we can do. So we can do like the titanium plates here, we could do the lightweight frames. We can also set it up for capacitors if we mix it up with some nickel plates. That is it. All right, so yeah, once we get that going, I think that we'll be doing much better, and things will be working on our way. So one thing we need to do is, I noticed that my research stopped because that we need to set up more. So let's get some of these queued up here, and that way we can get that moving. Now we get some of this armor going here. The other one is the station lift. That'll be a nice one to have, even the large station module B. Instead of just doing the single ones, we'll be able to do 4 at a time. That'll be pretty sweet. Get that all taken care of. But for the most part, we got a lot of this already taken care of. We're going to need to set up another one, another lab. And in that lab, we're going to have to start researching computation science. And so we're going to have to go that direction as well. So we're really going to have to start expanding out a little bit. So first things first, what we want to do is we want to set up a ship. We got to build a ship. So we're going to come over here to my little spaceport here, my shipyard. And in the shipyard, I want to go to ship designer. I want to design a ship. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to make this thing a little bit bigger. So it's going to have more than one habitat. I'm going to set it down so it has 2 habitats. That's going to give me a little bit more room for extra things, for me to build onto, and for me to have more weight, so I can bring stuff from one spot to another, and I can bring a lot more of that one item. Here's this is for the pilot. We could set that up. We could leave that out because technically, I mean, there's not going to be any pilot. This is going to be a drone. I'm going to set up a window here because we are not going to need to have any kind of machine or anything to work on there. And then on the other side here, I want to put in a docking collar. So we're going to need the docking collar so we can dock into each one of the spaceports. And then we're going to need some small thrusters. So let's put a small thruster on that side. And on this side here, we'll put another thruster. We just hit the F button to flip it around, so that way we can have it on this side. And then on the back side here, I want to put in a reactor. That is what's going to be able to use for our propulsion of our rockets and everything to get that moving forward. So that is pretty much it in a nutshell as far as setting up a pretty easygoing transport ship. So now that we have this, we can go up here, we can click save, and in this where it says new blueprint, I'm going to save this as a transport. Say transport ship. There we go. We'll save that. All right, and then we should be able to click exit out of that. And here we are. We are back in here. Now I want to go to this here to my configuration. Click F. Now I can construct a new ship, and you can see down here that I have transport ship, or I can do my my scouting ship. My scouting ship requires this stuff. That's the normal ship that I started off with. Or I could click on this one and we could do this one here, which requires a few more hull plates. Going to need some reinforced glass. I don't believe we have the ability to make reinforced glass, so we might have to wait on that. So we might just make another scout ship for the time being so we can get that going. And then the other thing is I want to name the ship that I have right here, so that way I don't get it confused with other ships once I make other ships for us to do. So we're going to hop into the pilot's chair here, and then I'm going to hit E, and that's going to bring up the ship status window. And in the ship status window, you can see that my HUD marker here is set to station. I can change that, but one thing I want to do is let's change the color of the ship. Right now, the color of the ship is gray. We can make that a little brighter. Oh shoot, trying to bring that. It keeps wanting me to fire. All right, so I'm thinking maybe something like that there. And if we go a little blue, maybe we'll use that one there. And that's nice. Okay, we can go with that one. And then my other alternative color is the gold for my channel. I think I'll just do that for the channel colors. And let's see here. Let's go a little bright there. There we go. All right. So now that we have that, we got those colors. Now we'll go up here. We rename the ship, and we're going to call this one, instead of the scout ship, I'm going to call this one the HQ ship. That way I'll know that this is my headquarters ship. This is the ship that I use for doing all the stuff. Now we enter that, and that's going to pop it up there. All right, so now we should be pretty good to go. Now what we need to do is to go in and change the name and everything like that for our look at that, blue and yellow. Maybe I should have went the other way with yellow with the blue lines. I don't know. We get this here when we hit Y, and we get the ability to see our station here, and then this is our HQ ship that we have. Now I'm going to go in here, click on this, and on here it says station. I'm going to rename this station to HQ station. There we go. So now this is called the NQ station. We can also initiate self-destruct if we want, but I kind of like the base the way it is. Let's just leave it the way it is. All right. So now the next thing is we have this one here is for the drone bay. This is for the drones that are going out and they're picking up ice. But what we want to do is say for this one here, this would be for like a dock for this. We could go into here. We could rename the dock. I'm just I'll rename it actually the HQ dock. That way I know it's not really tied to anything. So I'll name that as the HQ dock. And then if we come over here, this is the other dock. This one here is going to be my titanium dock. So we want to change this one here to the titanium dock. There we go. Enter that, and titanium, I misspelled it. There we go. Titanium dock. All right. So yeah. So now we have the titanium dock. It's already set up. We just need to get a scout vessel to go into that. So that means I'm going to need to come over here. I'm going to have to grab a few more of these. Okay, so now that we have our coils and everything like that, let's head back over here. We'll build up this ship, and then we're gonna go and set up our new base. And hopefully we can find a nice big old piece of titanium for the robots to work on, and everything should be good to go. All right, so we want to construct new ship, scout, and construct ship. There we go. So now you can see here we have our new ship. We have the scout, and the other one that is going to not have this right here, but that's fine. Now I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to press E, and then we have new ship up here. I'm going to rename this new ship, and I'm going to call this and call that the titanium ship. That's what that's pretty much gonna do. And then let me see here. Let's do that for the colors for the titanium. Oh, something just blew up. Must have been an asteroid. One of the I imagine one of the drones finished up an asteroid and it just blew up. Yep, so that's what's gone up there, but there is plenty of other water and everything that's up there, so that's cool. So here it is. Now we have our titanium ship is all set up, ready to go. Let's see if we can't set up the new station. Now the new station, let's see here. What is that going to cost us? So we need to get 20 hull plates and 10 light frames. So let's get those, make sure we have all those, and then we're going to go set up our new station and go from there. So starter station, we're going to stick it in right there. That looks like a good spot. And then we're going to come in and we're going to dock up with it. All right, so now that we're in this new station here, I might want to set up some drones and stuff like that just to get ice, and then it can also power the station up. So we do have this. I want to put this over here. And then let me see here. So we got that, and then I'll be put in a drone station on this side there. And if we could find another one, I wouldn't mind sticking that like right here. And then one of these is going to be for our reactor. All right, so now that we have that here, we should be able to come over here. We have the these guys are all set up. We just need to set up our reactor, get a reactor going. But in the meantime, we can set this up, and we wanted to do titanium. And then I want to put this right here in front. And then let's see, let's set up these. All right, now let's go set up the reactor here. Get this reactor set up, ready to go. Okay, so now that we have that situated, now we have to do is to set up, we want to rename this station here as the titanium station. Okay, so we have that done now. This needs to be turned on so we can get those guys starting going out looking for titanium. And then what do I need? I need some nickel plate there to start getting those going. And we'll hit apply changes and exit. All right, now what we need to do is to head over to this other drone one. This one here is going to be the one that's going to set up for the ice. So let's put ice in there and turn that on. Okay, so these are running off to grab water now. And now I need to set up a refinery. So I'm going to need 2 lightweight frames and 5 magnetic coils. So what I want to do is to set up a refinery here. Set up the refinery here. And then on this refinery, I want it to set up making the hydrogen fuel. All right, so now that is pumping into there. It's making the hydrogen fuel, and it's going in there, feeding that. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Now that we have that, we need to work on making the refinery here. So we're going to need some more magnetic coils. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to set this up here. Let's see, that's going into there. Yep, that's going into there. And then I want to set this up like right here. And I think I want to set up another one over here, and then maybe another one over here. And then we'll see, we'll run the belt here. Put there, and then we're going to set this one up also for titanium plates. Okay, now I'm going to set this up right here so that it can take in these titanium plates here. And then from this point here, I'm just going to have this run right into the into here. Looks really good. Oh yeah, we got plenty build up there. All right, so we got some good stuff coming on. Getting a bunch of this titanium going. We can keep that going for a while, I think. And then let me see here. We want to set up this base here for it to be named. So yeah, it's already set up the titanium station. Let's see, let's make sure that this is set up. So this here is a titanium dock. Let's see, I'll call it transmit, or trans short. There we go. That way we know this is what's being transmitted out, and it's everything's going that way. And then it should start loading up into the ship here. And you can see it just loading up there. That's perfect. Let's take that out of there. We don't need that. Titanium plates. We'll stick that up there. All right. That looks great. Everything is looking perfect. And if we come over here, so this looks like a pretty good setup. I think this is pretty much how we want to set up most of our base. So let's do a save on this, and then we're going to save this as a blueprint. And we'll call this a so now we have this as the design mode. Here's what's inside of it, so we can see like all the stuff that's inside as far as the factory stuff. I don't know if it'll really save that or not, but we got this part here kind of saved up. And so we hit exit, and we should be good to go. So now that this is all transmitting out here, now what I want to do is I want to come out here and I want to click on Y, and we're going to go to titanium ship, and we want it to do the autopilot, but we want to add a destination. So navigate to station, no dock selected. So I want it to go to the titanium station. That's where we are currently, to titanium trans. And then we want it to, right here, we want to add wait for items. So wait for items, and we want it to set to, let's set it to what, 100? So I guess when it gets to 100 items, that's not really much. I mean, we could change that at a later time. But once it gets 100 items of the titanium plates, then after that, then I want it to navigate to station, and I want it to go to the HQ, and I want it to go titanium dock. And then once it gets to the titanium dock, I want it to wait for items, and I want it when the titanium plates is 0, then I want it to navigate back to the station here to titanium trans, and it'll pick that up. Now we turn that on, you can see that it's undocked. Should redock itself here in a second. It's going to wait. It's going to wait until there's 100 titanium plates that are currently on. I could set this to more the equal. Now that this is on the titanium, now it's going to go to the station, and it's going to dump off all this that we just got done. So there should be like at least 100 in here of the titanium. Yeah, we got like what, 1, 2, 3. We got 300 actually. We could set that even more. So if we go to Y, and we could change this to say 400. Oops. Let's change that to 400, and then that should be actually a pretty good. That should be good. So yeah, this thing is running on its pilot right now, just doing its thing. Let's see, what's it look like? Is there any like nasties in between? No. You can see the station there now. There's the station back there. There's not really anything in between. We have the titanium right there, nickel. We do have a little bit of water and stuff there. All right, so here we are. We're coming in, and we're coming into the dock on the titanium side of the main station here. So that's pretty neat. There we go. And here we are. We are docked now. Now it should be transmitting all this stuff into here. We want this to be the titanium. and we want it to unload it, and you can see it's unloading and it's all going into here. So now that it's already processed up to the plates, we can take it from the plates now and we can put it into this area here. So I don't need like this stuff here anymore. So let's get rid of this. And then what I want to do is I want to make maybe a few more of these, and we'll put them out over here. Maybe I'll put out like 2 of them right here. And one of them, let me see, we could have one is the whole plates, and this other one could be the lightweight frame. So we could have one for whole plates, one for titanium frames, and then that would pretty much get that going. So let me see here. Let's actually let's take that out, and then I'm gonna hit Q, and let's do assembly. I'm gonna set up the assembly so it's over here, so it's a little bit on the closer side. So set up one there, and then I want to set up another one here, which requires me to get some capacitors. But in the meantime, I can set this up here. I'm thinking like right out here, actually. That way I can leave myself a little bit of room if I want to bring out the titanium plates down the center to like go to another machine to do, you know, something different if I needed to do that capacitor. So I'm going to hit the 1 here, and we're going to set this up here. All right, and then we're going to have that come into here, and then this one here is going to be making the lightweight frames. And let's turn it this direction, and I'll leave it right there. And then what I want to do is I want to do a underground. So let's do an underground, see how far we can go with this. Looks like that is the farthest we can go. Let's do another underground. We'll take it as far as we can. That looks pretty good. Now we want to take it from this underground, and we're going to just plop it over here. Now I'm thinking what I want to do is let's break this up a little bit, and I want to put in a storage unit. Let's put a storage unit right here so I can hold that stuff, and then let's put in another storage unit, say right here. And I'm going to have this come straight across here with those things, and then we got the hole coming down here that's filling up this. So that is great, and it's we're going to get extras filling up in here as we you know, it starts building up and everything like that. Now the other one I want to do is let's set up another lab. I want to set up another lab here. I'm going to use this lab here for the relics, because we have the relic stuff now. And I don't know exactly what to do with it right now. I figure I'll stick it in there, and then we can use that for the relic research. So if we hit T, we can go in here, and you can see like this one here, the relic capacitor uses the relics. So we can add this one to that. And then we got the small relic thruster here, which also requires relics. So we'll be able to knock that out. This one here, oh, we forgot we need the computer science. So let's remove that one. I'm going to remove these last two, get the capacitor thing going, so at least we can get that knocked out. And then let me see here. I want to do is what do we have unlocked? So let's unlock that one there. Unlock this one here. Station lift would be nice. We don't have the ability because it's redded out, I guess. And then that should be pretty good. I want to get these solar panels knocked out. It requires me to do this the computer science here. So for me to do the computer science, I believe that is going to require me to do the yeah, it's going to require me to do the basic circuits. So we're going to need these basic circuits to get the computation science. We can start getting that knocked out. You can see that we're getting that relic capacitor knocked out. See what happens with that. If we don't completely knock it out, we'll just remove it until we get some more of the relic capacitors, and we can pick up from where we left off. Now, let's see here. These are kind of built up here. Did the ship go back? Looks like the ship went back to go get more. Might even do a little bit more than 400. So we can do hit Y here, and we can go to the titanium ship. I can set this. So like say, let's do 600 instead. And then we'll see if we can't, you know, get even more resources that way. That would be nice. Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to make another ship, and we're probably going to require us to set up even more area for these for this other ship to go out and do things. Now, let's see what's going on here. This one here, yeah, I don't see robots here. I don't see any ice. Oh, the ice is coming in. Okay, good. I was concerned that it wasn't getting me any more ice or something. Let's see here. Let's take this out. No, this one's got a buffer over here for it, so I'll stick with this one, I guess. We can't go around in between those little single areas. All right, so this one here's got a buffer, and looks like we got plenty going on there, so we are plenty good. I was thinking that I want to do is I want to run. I got these things here. I want to run these down. Maybe I'll run it down here. And I can use this to upload that. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way where I can upload only so much. Like maybe just make sure it has 50 in there at all times. There we go. And on this one here, I want it to do these, and I want it to load. And then when it's on the ship, let's see here for the titanium ship, wait for items. When this is here, we also want it to set up a new wait for items, and I want it to look for this. And we want it to do greater than and say 50. There we go. So now when this guy comes back, he should be able to fill up on the 50 on the on that. And then once he's filled up with that 50, then he'll continue on his way. All right, cool. So he's landed. Let's go check to see what he's got. Now you can see that the fuel cells are coming in. Oh yeah, he's got all kinds of titanium plate, so he's definitely good there. He's getting fueled right now, so he's at 22. We can see that it is going up. So that's exactly how we want it to work out. It should be pumping everything into this. No, it's not. It's just going to be going straight into here. So right now it's coming straight through, so it's not going to stop, you know, not going to pass go. It's not going to pick up $200 or whatever. It's just going to go right on through. All right, so it looks like that is doing great. The other thing I want to do is, let me see, I got to turn around here, is I need to go to we go to our station designer. Okay, so we can see that this one here, this is the titanium entrance coming in. Over here, this is my ice for my drones. My drones going out, picking up ice, fueling this base. This one here is the dock for this ship here. And then I want to set up another dock. Let's set up another dock over here. All the other stuff. I mean, if we click on here, you can see that we also have magnetic coils. That means I'm going to need to get some nickel plate. Now, we also have the capacitors, which requires the titanium plates that we have currently coming in. And then that'll just mix with the nickel plate. So I could probably get both of these at the same time. And then we have the silicon wafers. Now, the silicon wafers, I'm not 100% sure on how that goes about. If that has to go, I think that has to go through another machine, which I mean is that's going to have to go through the refinery to make those silicon wafers, and then we're going to have to make the magnetic coils here, which are the nickel, are going to come together with the basic circuits, And then the basic circuits, we're going to have to send those off to the lab. And once that lab, that means we get the computation side of the house taken care of, and that'll make things a little bit nicer for us. And then the other thing is we got the lightweight frames, which is coming from this machine currently that we're looking at, and the magnetic coils, which is going to be coming from the one over here with the nickel plates, and that's going to make our servo motors. And so we get those going, and I think we're going to have most of everything being made, and it should make things a little on the easier side. Now you can see that this, even though it did everything and it processed, it went back to pick up more. I'm thinking that we might even have to set up these titanium shifts, because it is even just running low even on that. So we might, I'm thinking, let's do like 1,000. Let's do 1,000 plate. That'll probably keep that going a little bit better. And then see if we get 1,000 plate coming through, that should keep everything going, and we won't get these stop and go situations like we have right now. Even though this seems to be keeping up. I mean, this has got the 50 hole plates in there right now, and it's got a bunch of hole plates outside that are just sitting here, just kind of waiting. That explosion, that was from that meteor. So that's probably what we're going to be working on next, is getting the nickel. We want that nickel set up. I mean, there is a nickel right there, so I might be able to just set up a another robot thing, and then we're going to process the nickel. And I want to put that like right here. I want to start setting up nickel on this side here, and I think that's going to make things a little bit more easy to come by. And then once we get the nickel coming in, that should kind of ease our area as far as being able to keep up on all the different resources and whatnot, as well as getting our computations labs all set up and everything like that. Now this one here, I'm just going to leave that as a relic, because I'm not really sure like where else to put it at the moment. And then I'll probably put another lab over here, and that'll be my computation, and it'll probably just come in from this side and it'll feed this this lab here. Or it might just bring it down the center and just consider this whole room kind of the lab stuff to coming in. So that that'll work out pretty well. I think that's going to do us. But we'll definitely do more on the next episode. I want to thank everybody for coming out and joining me. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also helps me see that you're enjoying the videos, as well as it helps with my algorithm. I'd really appreciate that. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on our next video. You take care now, and bye-bye.